Can you even read this font?
Well, I can't, but
It says, in the tiniest and tiniest of fonts.
yes.
ToyoGuard coverage plans are provided by Southeast Toyota Distributors, LLC, as an optional accessory.
Yes.
It's no longer optional.
Optional if it's on the Monroney label.
It's on the Monroney label. Okay, Pops, I think Toyota made a mistake somewhere around 50 years ago that I think is not fair to consumers today. You, me, the people watching this video. Let's shed some light on what's going on for 24% of Toyota buyers out there.
Well, it's 24% of all Toyotas sold are distributed by Southeast Toyota Distributors, which is owned by Jim Moran and Associates, and they established this distributorship back in around 1970. And one of the wonderful things about Southeast Toyota Distributors is they can create their own Monroney label for the vehicles that they distribute. And they can add things as accessories to the Monroney label that plainly state are typically optional for someone to buy, but if they are included on the Monroney label, then they become part and parcel of the vehicle, and it's no longer optional. It's included. It's required.
Let's take a step back for just a second. Jim Moran and Associates, JM&A is how they are referred to in the industry. One of the largest, I don't know, top 5, top 3 largest F&I training and ancillary products and agency providers out there. They sell extended warranties, paint protections, tire and wheel protections, everything that you can get in an F&I office. Jim Moran and Associates, that's one of the businesses behind the scenes that supplies all those products.
Yes.
The fact that they also own the largest Toyota distributor in the United States means that they likely, we don't know this because we haven't gotten our hands on a contract, because surprisingly enough, our community, no one's been able to supply us with a contract for this very specific product that everyone has to buy. It's interesting. It's almost like the contract doesn't exist, but I'm sure it does. We just need to get our hands on it. They would likely be the ones that administer that product. We don't know for sure, but it's interesting. It costs $700, $699 for the customer. We've heard through our community it costs about $200, $250 to the dealer. So the dealer makes a nice profit selling this. And Jim Moran and Associates, who owns the distributor, probably is the one selling it, putting it on the car, administering it. It's very interesting. It's to me, it's a little foreshadow to how devastating it could potentially be for an industry to be fully vertically integrated. What's stopping when Ford sells directly to consumer 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now? Okay, every car comes with Ford Care.
Yes, no.
That's what this is a foreshadow to.
Yes, and it's not something that they were doing prior to the pandemic. It was an offering. It was available so that you could supplement the 2 years worth of Toyota Care that came with every Toyota that's sold in the United States.
Pops, I'm on Sunny King Toyota, okay?
Yes.
Bottom of the page that talks about ToyoGuard. Can you even read this font?
Well, I can't, but
it says, in the tiniest and tiniest of fonts.
Yes.
ToyoGuard coverage plans are provided by Southeast Toyota Distributors, LLC, as an optional accessory.
Yes.
It's no longer optional.
Optional if it's on the Monroney label.
It's on the Monroney label.
Yes.
It's fantastic to see that this is what capitalism creates. It's on the Monroney label. And, Dad, we have an article way back when on our website that explains what the Monroney label is. You sold trucks, before trucks had Monroney labels.
Yes.
Monroney labels came around to make sure that everyone understood what was actually included in the vehicle.
What the manufacturers,
Senator Monroney.
What the manufacturer suggested retail price was for a vehicle and what that included. In the old days, before these window stickers, before the Monroney label, the cost of a pickup truck, when they didn't have them, was based on the enthusiasm of the buyer. If the buyer was really enthusiastic, well, then the asking price just went up. And that's the reason that ultimately they came up and mandated, the U.S. government mandated that every vehicle sold, new vehicles sold in this country, had to have a window sticker, a Monroney label listing the vehicle, listing the VIN, listing the base price, and any factory-installed packages or accessories, and then the bottom line asking price of what that vehicle was.
Now, the reason this was brought to our attention is because of the community. There have been multiple posts on our community forum asking, hey, is this mandatory nowadays? And it's interesting, Dad, because when you look at the fine print back on Sunny King Toyota, it talks about how, if your Toyota dealer is not located in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina, or North Carolina, you have to contact Southeast Toyota distributors to make sure that you can get your service work done, your maintenance work done. But it says at the bottom here, at the end of all this, it says, ToyoGuard benefits are not valid on commercial or fleet vehicles. See ToyoGuard limited warranty.
Yes.
Out there, anyone, if you can provide us with a copy of your ToyoGuard limited warranty or your ToyoGuard terms of service or any type of contractual obligation between you and this product that you didn't have the option to purchase was forced onto you, please send it to us.
Yeah, we'd like to see it.
We'd love to review it.
Yes.
Because this feels wrong.
Well, it doesn't feel wrong. And if it does feel wrong, it feels wrong only because, well, it is wrong. If this was something that initially was intended as a potential upgrade to your Toyota Care that you had the option to purchase or not, and now you no longer have that option if you live in the states of Florida, Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina, or North Carolina, where those 157 Toyota dealers get their vehicles from Southeast Toyota distributors. That's not an option anymore. And truth be told, if you go to Toyota's website, Toyota USA, and you go to the website, it's only available through Southeast Toyota distributors. It's not available through Toyota itself. So if it was designed to be an option, it should remain an option and shouldn't have just be included on the Monroney price or the Monroney label because the distributor saw it as a way to pick up additional money for themselves and additional money for the dealerships.
And my mind is just blown a little bit because talk about passive income. Mm-hmm. Okay, 24% Toyota sold what? How many vehicles in the United States last year?
I don't know, more than anybody else.
A million? A million two? Something like that?
More than that, I'm assuming.
Okay, well, let's say they sold, let's say JM&A's group here.
Yeah.
Southeast Toyota Distributors.
Yeah,
synonymous.
It was 250,000 vehicles. Let's just say it was that.
And they charge dealers, let's say, $250.
Yes.
How much money is that?
A lot.
And they just, you know what the beauty is about insurance products? Because that's essentially what this is. It's probably regulated as what's called a motor club product, but it's an insurance. They just sit on the money.
Yes. And only draw out if and when they need to. Boom.
So the number of people who move from Florida to, I don't know, any other state that's not one of those states and don't actually end up using the service or the benefits they got here, that's their money.
Well, if they move from, say, Florida to Illinois, the dealer in Illinois wouldn't necessarily know that
you have to call them. You're not going to do it. And that's what, okay, anyway. Leave a comment down below. If you think we're making a stink over something that we shouldn't be making a stink over, then let us know. I think this is something that deserves more attention and more news. And Toyota, honestly, should have to respond to this and say, okay, yeah, this is one of our distributors. And you know what? They kind of have us, what's the polite way to say this? They got us like this. If they want to add stuff, they can add stuff. Sorry.
Well, that's the way that distributorship agreement reads, that they can add what they want to add. I'm
Evidently.
sure.
Evidently.
Yes.
All right, Pops. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.